Well, how's it going? We got two metal detectors here today. One is the Tesoro Tejon, and the other one is the Tesoro Vaquero. There's a lot of information out on the net about each one of these, and quite a few different comparisons to it, people's opinions on that. What I want to do is run through the features of these two detectors for comparison, and ultimately depth test and recovery test, discrimination and whatnot, and find out for myself exactly which one is the better detector. On a quick note, the Vaquero, I fell in love with this detector. I've had it for quite a long time, and to me it's hard to beat it. But I had picked the Tejon up because I always just wanted to find out if it is actually better than the Vaquero. So we're going to find out. Now the Tejon is a single frequency detector at 17.2 kilohertz, and the Vaquero actually has three frequencies from 14.2 and then I think 14.5 and 14.7. So it is a lower frequency machine than the Tejon. The Tejon has two discriminations, separate ones, where you can control them by running the main discrimination and then an alternate one by pushing the switch forward. The Vaquero just has a single discrimination. As far as pinpointing on the Tejon, you basically just pull back the trigger to all metal and that gives you your pinpoint. The Vaquero, you have a button you push for pinpoint. Now both detectors do have true all metal mode, to where you're running with threshold, and you have, both detectors have the adjustable threshold on them. Now as far as tones, the Tejon has the variable tone. The Vaquero is a single tone. And that one I have the high tone mod on it. Tejon runs on 8 AA batteries, 4 on this side, 4 on that side. The Vaquero has one simple 9-volt battery right behind that door. Tejon weighs roughly 3 pounds 4 ounces, and the Vaquero weighs roughly 2 pounds 8 ounces. With that said, you can see that the Tejon has more features than the Vaquero, but are they enough to outdo the Vaquero when it comes to actual hunting? And that's what we're going to find out. We're going to go out and run through my test bed, and let's head out and try it out, huh? All right, I'm up here in my test bed. I got a stupid mole, keeps continually digging holes. It's windy and it's cold, so I'm going to have to hurry up. What we're going to do is pick some targets and show you if there's much of a difference between each of these two machines. Now, I got them both ground balanced, and I'm running them about I'd say a third of a turn negative on the ground balance. And why I do that is I'm going to show you quick the reason. Right here is a quarter that's 10 inches deep. Now, sensitivity's all the way up. I'm going to back it down a little. You can super tune the Tesoro Vaquero, but what I found beyond better than that is running at slightly negative ground balance. I'm just going to go through and ground balance this. You notice? Sounds pretty good. There's all metal mode, that 10-inch quarter. Now let's go to discrimination. You see, really nothing. Now, run this negative. You do gain a lot of depth. So I'm going to run them both exactly the same, about a third turn negative ground balance. Now here's the Tejon on that 10-inch quarter. Pretty much same thing as the Vaquero. We're going to move down to a 12-inch quarter, which is right here. And it is hitting it. I haven't got sensitivity all the way up. That's up. But it does chatter quite a bit, if you can hear that. Now let's do the Vaquero. Vaquero hits that quarter pretty good too. 12 inches. Now we're going to do a recovery test. We got a copper penny, a nickel, and a dime. And here's the Vaquero, same settings. I'm in discrimination, but you know, actually all metal, not blocking anything out. Pretty good. Now let's try to block that nickel out. Pretty good discrimination in recovery. Okay, I'm in all metal with the Tejon. Discrimination in all metal. Not a lot of difference, but it seems a little slower. We're going to go to a nickel and block that out. Seems a little bit slower. Let's hit the Vaquero again. Blocking the nickel out. Not a lot of difference there. Both of them are incredibly good, but I think the Vaquero's got a little bit of an upper hand on recovery. Now we have a dime, 4 inches deep with 4 nails boxed around it. I'm going to run the Tejon with blocking discrimination, blocking up the nickels out. It's giving a little chatter this way. Hits it real good this way. Solid signal. Now the Vaquero, same thing. It's not really doing anything this way. This way, hitting it good. And if you notice there, it's not doing it. So, got to get the T on that for separation. Now we're going to run recovery all the way up, maxed out. Here's the Vaquero. It's trying to hit it, but it isn't really doing it with discrimination all the way up. Now the Tejon, discrimination level all the way up. Look at that. It's pulling it. Now the last one here is a dime, 11 inches deep. It's quiet, but she's hitting it that way. Discrimination's just above a nickel. Nothing. Now the Vaquero. Hits it once in a while, but not every pass. Not really. It ain't hitting it. All right, I want to speed through a small item test here in the air. First one actually we'll do is a fairly large silver ring, 925 silver, First up is the Tejon. We'll have this on discrimination mode, but not blocking anything out. Sensitivity as high as I can go without it chattering. And then the ground balance will be the same as the Vaquero. Right there's 10 inches. 11, 12, 13, 14 inches for the Vaquero, or Tejon. More like 13 actually. Let's try the Vaquero. Right off the bat, I'm going to start out at 10, 11, 12, won't quite do 13. There's 11, 12. So can almost hit it at 14 with the Tejon and about 12 with the Vaquero in the air. Next up is a piece of gold, 24 karat, 1 grain. 2 inches, 3, 4 inches, about 4 for the Vaquero. Okay, now for the Tejon, the gold, 2, 3, 4, about 4.5. Not much more, but it is pulling about 1/2 inch on it. Now a real small speck of copper, less than the size of the head of a ballpoint on a pen. Hitting it at 1. Yeah, pushing 2 inches for that Tejon. Now the Vaquero for that little piece of copper, there's 2 inches. It's about the same, I'd say, fairly close. All right, one last time, I'm back up at the 12-inch quarter. I got everything maximized on the Vaquero. It is hitting it. Both ways. In the Tejon, hits it both ways. All right, so as you can see there, pretty good comparison between the two, both very fine detectors. Now as far as features, you have to give that to the Tejon. Price, the Vac. Depth, Tejon by 1/2 inch, I would say, maybe a little bit more. It's pretty close though. Separation, as you saw there in the iron with that dime, Tejon, from what I could see, could very well between iron and high conductors, did a pretty good job compared to the Vac. Recovery, I'm going to lean to the Vac, even though it is very close. Comfort, it's a toss-up, but the Vac is lighter. Okay, all in all, Tejon does outdo the Vac overall. You're talking with its features, a little bit more depth. Both of them fairly deep machines, actually real deep. As you can see there, the Tejon does outdo it a tiny bit. As far as in the ground coinage though, both were hitting pretty much the same. So which one am I going to keep and send the other one down the road? I would have to say I am probably going to end up keeping the Vac. It's so close to the Tejon for performance. There isn't a lot difference, and I know there is, but I don't think that much. Just portability of the vac and not worrying about damaging anything like a trigger and that, throwing it in the car and getting it dirty. You have the speaker facing out the front where the Tejon is out the back, and it just feels a little bit better detector, and I believe it's a more stable machine than the Tejon. Battery, 9-volt battery versus 8 AA. I'm going to probably keep the vac. Hate to say it. This is a better machine. The Tejon is. I have to admit it. But not by much. There you go.